Hey everybody, it's Brooke with The Buttered Home. I apologize if there was a little delay. I have to get two cameras up and rolling and they don't always cooperate. Welcome to Messy Kitchen Monday. As you know, if you've been following along, we are having a cookout in the kitchen this month. Here in the deep south where I live, it is hot, and so hot that I don't know, you can either heat your kitchen up with the oven or other things, or you can go outside and light the grill and have double hot. So I think that for me, just heating up the kitchen and turning the air down just a little bit is a better alternative. If you're just joining us for the first time tonight, give us a wave, drop a comment, let us know you're here, and I'm gonna break Facebook rules, and if you would, share this video so that your friends who are not fans of The Buttered Home can join along with us. We're here every Monday night and we cook live. We usually have a theme each month, and we have a lot of fun doing that. We've done some really cool stuff so far, and we've got lots of cool stuff planned for the rest of the month of July. If you missed it last week, just scroll up the page and you can see what we did last Monday night. And you can also find these recipes plus so many more at thebutteredhome.com. So we encourage you, if you haven't been to our website, to visit there sometime real soon. Now, when you think of cookout, what do you think? Anybody? I think of hamburgers, cheeseburgers, things like that. But there is nothing that I love more than those cute little slider burgers. And I'm here tonight to show you an easy, very easy way to do them and to get that great grilled flavor and fool people at the same time. So we're gonna get started because it's kind of a lot of prep. I have some ready already, never fear. But tonight we are doing Sheet Pan Bacon Cheeseburger sliders. Y'all, they are divine. And if I could get Big D on camera, I would put him on the spot and he would be like, the first time I made them, he's like, these are not, no, it's not gonna be the same. He was wrong. He loved them. I think he almost made himself sick eating them. Can I get a grunt from the other room or something? But bless his heart, he's a real sweetheart. He's like, I'm good about admitting when I'm wrong, and I'm gonna tell you I was wrong. So a lot of times when you want to throw together a little special cheeseburger slider in the middle of the week, this is an easy way to do it. So I've got my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and we're gonna get started. Because the hardest thing about this is putting it together, and you're about to see that it's not really that hard. So we use a good bit of, I like 80-20 ground beef, because a little fat makes everything taste better. So we're gonna give that just a little bit of salt, and you'll see why, because some of the other seasonings that we add to give it the char grilled flavor have a little salt in them. So for those of you who are conscientious about your salt, just don't use it at all if you're using the charbroil seasoning. So to that, we are going to add some good old southern flavor charbroil seasoning. And guys, if you can't get this where you are, never fear. Whenever the recipe goes live at thebutteredhome.com, you will be able to link to this and purchase it through Amazon. So never fear, we got you covered. All right, let me just make sure I put enough in here. Let me find my measuring spoon. And it calls for a good bit, but yeah, we got 2 pounds of ground beef here, so it's got to go a long way. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just put 2/3 in my mixture. And again, I love onions, so onions go directly in. And like I said, if you're not an onion fan, you can leave them out completely. Have we got a question?
We do.
All right.
April asked if that was similar to liquid smoke.
No, it's better. I don't use liquid smoke. I'm not a huge liquid smoke fan. You certainly can, but I would use just a very little bit. This has just a touch of charbroil taste to it, but mostly it has several different blends of black and white peppers as well, as long as some salt. Big D told me it has charcoal powder in it, and that's what gives it the charcoal powder flavor. And sometimes liquid smoke can make food taste a little synthetic, so I'm not a huge fan of using liquid smoke. So like I said, if you don't have this, you can certainly order it. I'll have it in the link in the recipe for you. And it's worth every penny because we use it on everything. Probably 90% of the recipes that I'm doing this month have this in it. And they have lots of other different flavor variations as well, but the charbroil is by far the best. And then we've got some Worcestershire, and I'm almost certain that I'm saying it wrong. It's certainly, you don't say it like it's spelled, I can tell you that for sure. But we're gonna put a good bit of that in there. 2 tablespoons, I believe. And that adds a little bit of zip to it and a little bit of tang. And it kind of balances everything out, in my opinion. So now I'm gonna suit up. And as you see, this is a really, really simple mixture. But we're not done with it yet. So this is just the base of the meat. And what I have here is I have a lightly greased sheet pan, but I'm gonna mix this first and just get my onions and my southern flavor and my Worcestershire, however you say it. You get my meaning. But aside from not having grill marks, because this won't have grill marks, you will not be able to tell flavor-wise that it didn't come off the grill. All right, so I've got it good and mixed, and you don't want to over-mix it because you want it to kind of come together on its own. You want that fat and the meat kind of meld together. And plus, we're going to flatten it out on this sheet pan, so if you mix it too much in here, then you got another process over here. So I'm going to divide that in half, roughly, and take out half of it. And this is why I'm using gloves, because we're handling it a good bit. So now we're just gonna put that onto our lightly greased sheet pan. And then you're just gonna use your hand, and I hope you can see,
yes,
to kind of evenly flatten it out. And you want it kind of thin because you want it to cover as much surface area, and you still have another half of your meat left here. So it's not like you're gonna have a thin burger. And I'm just gonna kind of scoot up my edges so that they're a little more square. Is he talking to the dog?
Yes, he's telling Millie to shh.
Oh, is she whining? All right, good. We've got an almost good little square right there. And I didn't think this through. I actually need another pair of gloves.
Where are they?
All right, because we've got to do a little something to this. So you see I have my first layer out right here. And now what we're gonna do is I have 2 different kinds of sliced deli cheeses. I have pepper jack. We have lots of pepper jack fans in our house. And I have cheddar. So we're just gonna kind of make those all pretty and put those on top of our first layer of meat. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is not diet. Oh. And I like to kind of mix it up so that every little bite has a different, and it overlaps, so you get 2 different kind of cheeses in each little slider. So that was simple. We used about 6 slices of cheese there. All right, now here's my other pair of gloves. Thank you for my technical support in light of my poor planning. I don't know about y'all, but it's tough to get home from work and have to get supper together and remember everything some days, especially on Monday, right? All right, so now we're gonna take our second half of our meat and we're going to place that on top. Move this out of the way so you can see. And then we're going to gently do the same thing just to kind of spread it out. And it doesn't matter if your cheese sticks out. It's all good because it's going to make like a cheese skirt on the bottom, which will get a little crispy around the edges. It's fantastic. I mean, who wouldn't love a cheese skirt? All right, again, I'm just gonna kind of square up my edges and make sure that it is as evenly proportioned as possible. Now, throw my dirty gloves out of the way. And I lost a little piece of cheese, so I'm just gonna tuck that guy back in there. And now you have a nice, neat little double stack with cheese in the middle, and we're not finished. So I only put 2/3 of the southern flavor in there because just for a little punch, it calls for a little bit more, and I just kind of shake that right on top so that when you bite into it, you get that burst of flavor. Only after you get the burst of flavor from the bacon. So yes, you don't have to cook your bacon in a separate pan. You're gonna take this bacon and you are going to form a top. And I like to just take them and lay them over side by side. Did I mention this was not diet? Okay, I think I did. Let me just make sure. And did I mention you probably shouldn't do this like every week? Full disclosure here.
Amanda is just joining and asked what you were making.
Hey Amanda, welcome, glad to have you. We are doing Sheet Pan Bacon Cheeseburger sliders, and we're real excited about that. And it's not a diet food at all. So now what you have is I have a pretty little just kind of diagonal weave on the top. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take those edges and just tuck them under the meat patty. And if you'll notice, this kind of forms like a little barrier, and it kind of finishes squaring up your edges. So we're gonna do that on both sides. And you know, you can get all creative and do a basket weave, like a pie top on here, anything you want. But for time's sake tonight, we're just taking the easy way out and we're just running them across. So you can use, you know, up to a whole 12 pieces of bacon on this and really make it something special, but you'll just have to adjust your cook times a little bit more. Let me wash my hands. And the next key element to this is, well, there's 2 more, are these $1.20 packages of buttery dinner rolls. And I don't know if you can see, but that's a perfect fit right there. So we're gonna prep these guys while these are in the oven. And these cook for roughly 30 to 40 minutes, just depending on your oven. But they come out fantastic. But before I show you the finished product, we also have a little sauce that we mix up that we put on those buns before we put the burgers on them. And it's just simply mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, and prepared horseradish. And it's all in the recipe that'll be posted. And we're just gonna mix those up. Oh, and that smells really, really good. Horseradish gives it another little heat kick and adds to the sweetness of the bacon. It's just a wonderful combination. So now I have my buns, and you can buy them pre-sliced already. I did not this time. I got some help and Big D sliced them for me. So what we'll do at this point is we're gonna put about half of that mixture on the bottom and the other half on the top. And then we're just gonna spread it out. Now, naturally, you don't have to use this spread. You can just dress them or let them be dressed with mustard, mayonnaise, ketchup, whatever your preference is. But this little recipe for this sauce just gives it a little extra zing and adds to the bacon and the cheese that we used. And I also like using Havarti cheese and this horseradish. If you've ever had horseradish with Havarti cheese, oh, that's just almost perfect combination. All right. So now I have one finished, and the bacon comes out perfectly crispy on top. We have a little bit of that cheese skirt right here that's absolutely fabulous. And you just carefully scoop it up, carefully, it's heavy. And then you want to place it on your bottom. And then put your top on. And let me move it. And I like to put them on a pretty little cutting board. If I can get them off the wrapper. And then I just get a big long bread knife. And all you have to do is follow the lines. Because this is already done for you, you just take them and cut through. Now this is the tricky part. Getting through the long side. And y'all, you have these beautiful bacon cheeseburgers. And one of the things that I like to do, it doesn't need to be dressed with any sauce. I like to load it up with a tomato, some of my homemade pickles, and some lettuce. And y'all, that is a doozy. And I've got people lining up in the kitchen. Imagine that. These are fantastic, and y'all, they cook in less than 40 minutes. And literally the prep for it is all of about 10. And look, you get 12 of them. And that goes a long way because they're rich and they are decadent and they are really, I don't think you can eat more than 2 because they're very, very filling as well. So there's a lot of, this recipe is like a lot of others we have. You can use different things to make it a little more healthy, and I do encourage you to do that. You can use wheat buns and possibly ground turkey, and they still turn out fabulous. Everybody over here is going, and Danny looks like he wants to throw up. But I promise you, if you are on the fence or you've never heard of Southern Flavor before, and I'm not pitching them, I'm not an affiliate for them, but if you want to be able to have cookout in your kitchen like we just did, this is the trick to it right here. I brag on them all day long. That charbroil seasoning is just nothing like it. How is it, Tanner? She looks a little glazed over, so it must be pretty doggone good. Anyway, we're gonna go because I've got people lined up in the kitchen. We even had invited buddies over tonight because we knew that we were having these on Messy Kitchen Monday. So we are so glad y'all joined us. We have another great cookout in the kitchen coming up for you next Monday. Same time in my Messy Kitchen at 7:30 Central Time. We hope you'll join us. We're going to try to do meal prep this week on Thursday night. I will let y'all know for sure on Thursday if we succeed. So we really appreciate y'all being with us. And from the buttered home to your home, y'all have a great week. Bye.